This is 43. All right, what's up, guys? Chris Fluck here. Vincent Wimberly, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, podcast number 43, I believe.
43.
Friend Robin Houston made the connection, man. So, how do you know Robin?
Robin. Interesting story. So I met Robin when I was at Steel Fitness Premiere. This was one of the first weeks that I was actually over there. And we usually just work the floor and just mingle, so we're not just wasting time. Basically, let the time go by faster. Who wants to be sitting there anyway? So Robin's over there doing her thing. If you've seen Robin, you know that she's gonna grab a kettlebell and own it. So she's owning the hell at this kettlebell, and I just happened to walk over. I'm like, she's definitely a trainer. She doesn't need me to say anything, but I'm bored. So just kill time. Long story short, we just pitched the idea of one day, let's put together a boot camp and just kill it, put everybody through a horrible workout, and just really turn up and have some fun. She was like, hell yeah, I'm with it. Time went by, ups and downs, scenarios, and we end up bumping heads, outreach to her and say, hey, look, I have an opportunity for you. Let's just see what we can do about this boot camp now. And then she came, we chopped it up for a little bit, and we've been killing it since.
So now we're here, man. Life Advanced Fitness, 15?
Life Advanced
15th
Fitness.
Street?
15th Street in Allentown.
Now, what about the name, man? Where'd it come from? Life Advanced?
Life Advanced Fitness. All right. So this basically derived from me wanting to prolong my life in general, be along to see my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids. And not only see them, I wanted to be active, be involved, and not feel like, oh, well, who's going to go pick up Pop, and who's going to go pick up, so-and-so right now. Nah, I don't want to wake up and be in pain. I just wanted to be healthier and live a lot longer, feel better. That's where that basically came from.
Well, I think it's super important. We talked about kids a little bit before coming on, but they need to see an example from you. So you can't, be eating junk all day and then expect your, how old are your kids?
Oh my God, my daughter is 16 this year, and my son will be 12 next month.
So you can't bark, hey, you need to be physically fit and active. Meanwhile, you're not, and you're doing whatever.
Oh my God.
So it needs to come from the top.
They're gonna see it. It trickles down.
I've been talking too about, the NSCA is this kind of group that I kind of stay in touch with and part of that organization. And they have this cradle to the grave approach where it's like, with this training here, it's not just for athletes. NSCA's Strength and Conditioning Association.
Yep.
But it's about the moment you're born to the moment you die.
Life.
Exactly. And it's
lifelong.
You don't want you could live to be 100, or you could live to 50, right? But if your 50 years are better than that person's 100,
absolutely.
If those quality of years, like the quality of life, quality of years are better, you're probably better off living to that if you have these great relationships you build and you're fit and whatever, something could happen to you where you could prolong the life for decades potentially.
Absolutely.
But they're not good years. So
absolutely.
And I think no matter what too, like you can always get a little bit better. I was talking to my dad a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I don't know who he was talking about, a pro athlete or something, and was like, the guy was like saying how he was just trying to get a little bit better every year, and I'm like, that's what we all should do.
It should be doing,
right? Everybody,
regardless.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I think we can.
Each day, man. Each day. Like, it doesn't have to be an evaluating standpoint to say, okay, where was I at last year? We always wake up with that New Year resolution, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this year's my year. 2020, I'm turning up. 2021 is going to be me.
Right.
2020, who cares? Why can't tomorrow be the start of your new 365? And that's just whether it's financial growth, whether it's you trying to grow as a person, a general human being, a better father, mother, whatever it is. You can be that better person starting now. Why do you need to wait and put it on a timeline for that point? Let's just get it rolling.
So where are you at in that process here? What are some things you're working on, whether it's in the gym or not?
Put me on the spot now. Honestly,
where are you at with your training? What do you do for workouts?
My training, I've been slacking. Sacrifices, and it's no excuse. It's something that I came to realization with a little while ago. I've been putting so much into LAF that it's not excuses for all those who are watching. This is something conversations that need to be had too. So I'm glad he asked that. Man, I see myself, everybody else probably see me or anybody else in general, be like, oh, that person, man, damn, I wish I looked like that. I wish I was, and you have no idea what that person is feeling like. So no matter how many abs shot you see me post up within the next couple of weeks, I do not like the way I look right now. I love how I feel, don't get me wrong, but I've not been on my normal training protocol because I put my business ahead of time and my time's crunched up. So I have to train a little bit differently the way I'm doing right now, which means I'm going to have to sacrifice a little bit of sleep. I'm going to have to prioritize my day so that I can get the results that I want. So to answer your question, I was running a lot because that was the next modality that I was really trying to improve my fitness level at. So I started doing a lot of running. I did Steelman last year and kicked my ass, man. Oh my God, I'm not a runner.
So explain it though, just in case if nobody knows.
Steelman is for triathletes. So there's swimming, a bike, and a run. You know, I can swim. I have no interest in swimming in the open water. I watch too many movies for that. You know, so I could swim. Don't get me wrong. So, but I didn't have no interest in doing that. The biking too. The biking's okay, but I just again my modality at the time was running. So when I went, I had a team. You know, shout out to Amy. And shout out to Mary as well. That's part of my team, you know, so I can't just mention that. So when it was my turn, I had to run the leg. I went all out. I had no training. I ran a pretty decent time, but I paid for it, boy. I paid for it. So I wanted to make it a point to improve. So I started running more and more and more and more. At the time, I was probably like 220 pounds, 225. I just came off of heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. So I was stocky. I was big. But oh my God, I was dying. I felt strong, but I didn't feel good. So I just said, you know what? I'm not going to lift anymore. I'm just going to start running. My time started improving. I'm doing great. Abs start coming back. My body fat slimming down. But now I get super lean because of how much time and how much running around I do at LAF. I'm here at the studio for one-on-one trainings. I rent out the other facilities at different times throughout the week. I'm also a high school track coach for Allentown Central Catholic. So you know, I'm constantly running around sometimes from 5 a.m. I don't get home until 8 p.m. So that's just to give you an idea of how much energy I'm exerting throughout the day. So it slimmed me down. So I want to get back into some strength training and building a little bit just to put some more size on, but I don't want to put too much on because, you know.
Now,
yeah, exactly. Look, come on, man.
Your girl Robin gave me some crap because I was just talking about.
What'd she say?
So this is it. I do 2 to 3 exercises.
Gotcha.
Like twice a week, and that's
what are you doing? I hope they're pull-ups.
No, I told her about my love of the front squat, and she was wondering like, all right, then what do you do? I'm like, no, I do front squat, I do cleans and military presses.
All from that barbell. So on the same.
No, not quite. No, but no. So I used to do one-arm presses with kettlebells, pretty heavy. Gotcha. Basically, what I do, day one. Barbell snatch, light-ish.
Gotcha.
And then heavy front squats, following a program.
You heard the issues coming in? That means it's
well, it depends. There's waves. There's waves.
All right.
There's waves. So, long story short, 2 lifts that day, pull-ups probably on the same day.
Gotcha.
The next day, squat cleans, military presses, pull-ups, and chin-ups. That's it.
He said, you hear him?
So, you can lift twice a week and still get some. I've never been stronger in the front squat ever in my life.
Because you're putting that time into it.
And I'm following a program and I'm just checking the box and punching the clock. And you're doing it, being consistent.
How do you feel about that as far as like a general program and then mixing it up?
About my program?
Mm-hmm. Like how often do you?
Oh, for me, I think so. I talk to people about this and they're like, doesn't that go against everything you would tell a client? And I'm like, maybe, but I'm kind of at a point where so they might work out twice a week, right? Mm-hmm. But I've been kind of working out for a couple decades now. Mm-hmm. They're like, I kind of got my foundation, I think, is pretty good. Yeah. Then now I'm at this point where I just want to master the basics. Absolutely. Keep working the fundamentals and keep strength, and I'm good with that.
Absolutely.
And I'll take some walks, and obviously when it's nice out, I would run. Last year I ran. Yeah. I lose a ton of weight, kind of like what you said when I run. A ton of weight. But I don't think I'll be running when I'm 55, 65. So I'm like, I got to figure out some things here that I'll be able to do, whether it's a bunch of I think as my daughter gets older and has school and stuff, I'll have some more free time. But she's 2 and she's at home a lot. So I'm working. I'm going home to spend time with her. I'm going back to work and I'm coming home to spend time with her. So that 2-day-a-week plan is kind of good enough. I used to do 3 to 4 days, like 2 to 4 lifts a day. But
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, man. And honestly,
pick some lifts that you like. Yeah. Try to get good at them, and I think go with it.
Yeah, and just get it. I just got to get a little bit more thickness going back on in here.
This one guy's Dan John. Yeah. Start throwing some weights around, you'll be good. Push.
Not this guy here, right?
Hey, push, like a pushing exercise, a pulling exercise, a squat, something explosive.
Just get it done, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to stop. Possible. So I got to drop a couple U's so I have time in my schedule to, as Chris said.
What do you have to do? Drop some people?
Drop a couple people, and so it might be you.
Here's what you do.
It might be you. It might be you. It might be you.
Expand.
Yeah.
Where you're at, you're spread thin.
Yep.
Time to contract.
He said contract. That means
no,
that
do
means
whatever.
a lot of no, we're all good.
Don't sacrifice sleep.
No. I think, like I said, a lot of the stuff that has been rolling has come to pass now. So, with me again, and I love everything that I do, I will never stop grinding as hard. So I have to find that time to fit into the schedule to make sure I get what I need to get.
All right,
done.
another random thought that I have.
What you got?
Similar schedule that you had. I used to coach football, double sessions. So, what would I do those days? I'm pretty sure I would wake up. So they start at like 7-ish. I'd have to get to the school 7:30 when I was coaching.
Yeah.
I think I would work in the mornings from like 5:30 to whatever time. Go to football. You have double sessions. Work after. It's like, when are you going to work out? This guy, Dan John, do you know that name at all?
No.
It's a 40-day program, which is going to sound totally ridiculous because the first time I read it, it sounded ridiculous. Basically, you do the same workout 40 days in a row. So, like, Monday to Friday, it's a 15-minute workout, but you're getting all the big stuff. So you'll do, like, a deadlift, a press, a light squat, pull-ups or bent-over rows, something for your abs, and that's it.
Yeah.
So you're able to check the box on this stuff, but you're not doing anything too intense.
Gotcha.
So when you're spread thin,
still hitting your essentials.
you like they call it like greasing the groove. You're still hitting the moves.
Yeah.
You're maintaining your technique and all that.
Yeah.
Hit some goblet squats, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It can be done.
No, I'm gonna piece together. And if anybody has any other like workouts that you would like me to try, feel free to send them over, man. lifeeventsfitness@gmail.com. That's always an option to send stuff to.
So track and field.
Track and field.
What are you coaching?
High jump. I'm a jumpers coach. I love plyos, man. High jump, long jump, triple jump. That's my forte. That's what I love.
Cool. Central Catholic?
Allentown Central Catholic right here on 4th Street.
How long have you been there?
This is my second year coaching now. So I just got hired last year. First brought on an assistant coach. Hopefully I'll be the head coach soon, I'm not rushing anybody out. I'm not trying to, I'm just saying,
So you're track and field in high school?
Yeah, track and field in high school.
What else high school? We talked about football, right?
Football, that's what I played. Football, basketball, and track, man. Anything that got me out the house and away from doing chores, I was doing it, man.
In terms of, so you're a multi-sport athlete, right? I mean, important?
Yeah.
You think?
Oh, my God. Yeah, you wouldn't be now. How easy or a lot easier it was for me to transition from one sport going into the next and really understanding how each one is directly going to correlate to another. As far as there's only certain movements that you have for everything. Come on. So if I can stay tuned, just like you say, you're going to grease the grooves. What better way to do it is to keep the body moving, acclimated. I think kids these days get too set on just doing one thing. And then they're waiting the whole year around to come back around to try to practice that one thing again. And even if they're still doing AAU and everything else, you just need that transverse plane of motions. It's just gonna be so much more better for the body in general and allow them to understand how to work with the different scenarios.
And I think too, it's kind of what I was saying too in terms of like, you got to build that foundation and those fundamentals. So if the time does come where you have to contract, you expand and you learn as much stuff as you can when you're growing up. And,
oh, my God.
You become 16, 17, 18, 19, and you want to kind of specialize. Okay, fine. Yeah. But you really need to expand when you're young. And try to learn as many qualities.
And piggyback what you're saying, man. My son, prime example, my daughter is 16 years old. My son will be 12 in April. My son has yet to play a sport. He's played soccer, don't get me wrong. But he wanted to play football. Mom does not like the contact sports, especially with everything that's going on. Totally understandable. So what I do is I get him introduced to so many different things. And I use my performance training as a way to do that. We work on our strength. We work on our agility. We work on our footwork. We work on our balance. We work on our stamina. We work on our running, distance, endurance. So I get him introduced to these different modalities so that when he does find something, and I hear it all the time, everybody that I play ball with, now, like I said, I'm from here, Allentown, PA, born and raised. Everybody who's here that knows me. I'm an athlete. So when they see me or see that I had a son and they see his videos, oh my God, I got a jersey for him. He let me know, don't worry about paying anything. I got him, he's going to play. My son doesn't want nothing to do with basketball like that. You know what I mean? Football, he can catch, he can run, he has moves, he's fast. The contact, he don't like it, So it's not, football ain't for him.
So what do you think though?
Track.
That's what I was going to bring up.
He just cannot wait.
When did they start at? Middle school?
Now, but you have to, I think it was like 8th grade. 8th grade you have to
be. So 12, you're what, 6th grade?
Yeah.
So it might be 7th, 8th grade.
He might be able to get him next year. Yeah. Cool. He might be able to.
Allen, Is that what you said?
We live in Whitehall.
Oh, right.
So I live in Whitehall.
They got to have a middle school. I feel like.
I don't think I think it's
that
like
stinks, man.
9th, maybe 7th to 8th, maybe. But right now, like I said, I'm just keeping him primed, prepped, ready. You would not believe how many kids. If you think that your kid is going to have a better advantage just alone by you putting him into different stuff, yeah, but at the same time, you just want to get him introduced to different disciplines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, so I don't remember the numbers, like 70% of kids quit before they're like 11. I just did this conference, I had some people come down, adults, basically, parents, coaches, and I think it's over 70% of kids are quitting. I think it was by 11, it could have been 14, but they're just quitting. And why? It's because it's adults.
What does that produce?
Nothing. So,
you
know, you could be the 10-year-old that wins the tournament, but the 10-year-old you're competing against might have just found out the night before his parents just said, hey, let's go to this event tomorrow. Whereas this kid's training his whole year to win this event. There's other kids just showing up. They're playing all these different sports. Like, it doesn't matter if you're 10 and you're winning stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you're 12 or 14. It's like, I don't think you don't want to, like, college coaches want you to grow in college. But if you specialize too young, you know, you're going to limit your growth as you get older.
Absolutely.
So you're leaving the door open for improvement, which college coaches want that. You know, if you want to go play something in college, they don't want a guy that's maxed out, hit his peak.
Absolutely.
Is what it is, so.
Oh my God, and so many kids get burnt out by that point too.
Oh, for sure. Now, is your daughter involved in anything?
My daughter is a dancer. She was a cheerleader, and she transitioned into dancing over here at, I forget which exact school it was, so I don't want to name the wrong one. But she was in dance for so many different years, went to a couple different dance schools. But that's what she loves. She doesn't want anything to do with me and LAF unless we put like a hip hop dance class in here. Then she'll be in here doing something. You know what I mean? Yeah. I told her that too, though.
Yeah.
Listen, oh my God, there's so many, and that's what another thing. I think kids are not pushed and inspired to be doing a lot more than what they normally want to do. If we give them option to sit here and just say, okay, let's watch these podcasts all day. Let's watch YouTube all day. Let's let them play Fortnite and everything else all day. That's what they're gonna do. And there's no discipline in it. And like you were saying, it trickles down from the parents and the coaches. And if the parents continue to get involved with the coachings and allow them to have an effect and implement that disciplinary kind of, authoritative figure with the kids that they're working with, what do you think this is going to happen with society? Now these kids that were not used to a structure, different modalities, different environments, there's not where their coping skills at here now with the world. Look how everything is right now.
I know, and I think we're just starting to get into it as well. We talked about discipline a little before we came on. So imposed discipline would be that discipline kind of brought on from the parent, not like an authoritarian figure, but like, hey, you can't,
like guidelines,
you can't, whatever, throw a baseball at your brother's head. You can't be late for school. You can't go to the store without a shirt on. Like these little rules.
Simple.
Like, hey, there's that part of it. That discipline side of it. We're not getting that, right, from coaches and parents, typically speaking. Generally speaking, we'll say. Like, maybe that's not the same as it was 20 or 30 years ago. Self-discipline, on the other end, is like kind of you being responsible for your actions and you wanting to do something. Do you think a kid could have self-discipline? Wait, what's the likelihood, in your opinion, of like a kid being able to have self-discipline if he doesn't have that?
The extrinsic? All right, so, okay, perfect. So, intrinsic and extrinsic motivators.
Right.
What it sums down to. So, whether it's a client, whether it's a kid, if they don't have the internal motivational skills to set in there, nobody's going to want to, like we were just talking about Fortnite. If they don't have any, hey, you need to get up. You need to make sure the trash is out. Brush your teeth, make your bed, get some breakfast before school, do your homework. All these things are trainings for the younger generations and the kids to really understand what's going on so that it becomes second nature. So if we're trying to motivate them to do more and they don't have that, after a while, there needs to become a point to where inside of you, you know that either it's a feeling, it makes you feel good from doing it, or if it's something that you need to do to get something that you want, there has to be that internal self that you have to take responsibility for you either doing it or not doing it, you know?
Another thing too, this guy that I stole this from him, he said like discipline equals freedom, where it's like if you have the discipline and get all your stuff done, then you can play Fortnite. You can go hang out with your friends.
Yeah, business before pleasure.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like have some discipline, you do what you got to do.
And
then you got 7 hours the rest of the day to do whatever you want.
This is the conversations I have with my kids all of the the time. And it's like, look, you know everything that we're going to complain about. You're not 2 years old anymore.
Yeah.
We've been having these conversations. You know what's expected of you. Are you going to make that decision to do it on your own? Or are we going to have to come in now and talk to you like, would you get up now?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Why is that? Because it's the result from you not having that motivation inside to understand what's going on and what you need to do. Have that internal discipline and that ownership of responsibility.
The $1 million question for coaches then. How do you get people to be motivated intrinsically?
Woo! That depends on how much time you have to start and continue with the extrinsic. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to stem down from the parents helping the coaches with applying that the same way. They don't want to hear it from too many different. If it's easier to ignore something coming from one angle than you hear it coming from, now it's an echo effect. We got a surround sound kind of approach with protocol, structure, change. It's easy to ignore something that's only going to be, hitting you from one side.
Your parents saying it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
how many parents come to you and they're like, I could tell my kid this. They
Oh,
don't
you
listen to
say
me,
it.
but you say
You
it,
say
and
it,
then
and
it's a different
Oh,
thing.
yeah, right away. He's like, oh, I just said the exact same thing. Nah, sometimes it get an annoyance. Even with some of the guys I play ball with, and some of these ball players are nice, man. Athletes where damn, they're gonna go to the league, they're gonna go to the pros, and I bump into them. We have these conversations. And they're like, yo, I see what you're doing on the gram, and I see what I gotta get my son out there with you. What do you want him with me for? He could do everything that you're showing him probably, and then 10 times that, man, he ain't listening to me. You think I didn't try that? You know what I mean? So I think it becomes a point to where they kind of have a little bit more of a tolerance for what's being said because it's just repetitive over and over and over. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be said or had. I think that the more we can help each other and, we attack getting this younger generation, some of our student athletes, to hearing it from more than one mouth and a different kind of a person from a different background, a different heritage, a different likelihood other than someone who is directly on them like a parent. It helps receive that message a little bit easier because they don't feel like they're being picked on or maybe or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I'm the different angles and stuff is something that I think about where, like, you come straight on. Sometimes parents might just be a little bit too head on and their child might not like that. But if you could hit them from an angle, one of the other guys too, he kind of compares it to like the military flanking maneuver. Instead of coming straight at him, hit him from the side, hit him from this side.
It's so true.
And then, you're playing the game a bit and you're kind of tricking them into doing what you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you come straight at it, it's like confrontation.
And
you might run
like a
into issues
headbutt
that way.
approach.
Kind of.
And also,
but sometimes you just kind of get frustrated and you might just like that.
Like
you might make a mistake and just come right at them and then they're going to be turned off forever.
It's so true. And one thing I think that worked in my favor with that too is I'm pretty patient, but I do get annoyed. You know what I mean? But I think the patience has come with just time and time and time and time and time. And I do care. Not saying nobody else doesn't, but I think a better understanding of, like you were saying, hitting it from the different angles and understanding maybe they didn't receive that message the way they should have got that. Everybody's different learners. So
check your approach and maybe try something different, kind of.
Yeah.
Another thing too, before we kind of move on, but I wanted to talk about. We're talking about kids here, so I want to talk about that. You told me the story about when you got out of college. You want to go into that and some of that hardship that you experienced.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of tell that story and then we'll
Absolutely. So for those that don't know, again, born and raised in Allentown, I ended up getting almost a full scholarship for basketball, football, track to Kutztown University. With my first year that I was up there as a true freshman, I pinched my sciatica nerve. This was one of the first games of the season, and it shut me down. I was on crutches for 6 months. I had to do physical therapy, electronic stimulation, rehab, all that fun stuff. I went through it. But it really hindered me from really training hard in the gym, like going super heavy with, barbell, rack squats, all that. Nope, forget about it. Because at any point, I didn't feel strong enough in my core. So from that point, I ended up leaving college. I came home, was working dead-end jobs, great paying jobs, don't get me wrong. I ended up getting a house and, moving forward with my life, getting married and stuff. And the job burned down. So now I'm squared away.
Like literally burned to the ground.
Job is gone. This is Lehigh Street. Lehigh Street in Allentown. Jiffy Lube on Lehigh Street. Burnt to the ground. I just transferred there from another facility that I was working over to help them out. So now I'm screwed here. About to lose my house. really dark times, man. Lost my car. I was walking back and forth to a new job that I was underpaid at. Like, oh my God. Then we start, financial problems lead to household problems. Household problems lead to emotional problems. You feel it was just a whirlwind effect of trouble, man.
Yes.
And then from there, it was just like a matter of like biting down and, again, intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. That was an extrinsic motivator to the fullest, if you want to say any counts. But then from that point, I ended up just really finding what I was really going to fall in love with. And what kept me grounded was training. And I found myself in the gym, on and on and on. And then sometimes you have blessings that come to you in different ways, and you just don't know how, where they came from. You just roll with it. So from there, I found myself going back to school. I wasn't going to get into school at all to get the pay that I wanted without going back to getting that degree that I deserved. So I found myself looking on online programs, went back to school. From school, I went to LA Fitness. I was at LA Fitness for a little while, met some great people there. I went to Planet Fitness. I was at Planet Fitness for about a year and a half, really honing some more skills for personal training. And then I landed at Steel Fitness. And that's where I bumped head with Robbins briefly. We talked for a little bit. I ended up, Sarah Campbell, that's the one who brought me on, Andy. There was a lot of great, like I said, people I had the blessings, a chance to cross paths with. Yeah. And then from there, we just didn't click, not going to toss too much dirt around because that soil was already set. So from there, I ended up landing at this facility for 2 years now from that point. So
tell us about it, man. What are you doing in here?
What am I? Functional training, personal training, sweat till you bleed, and then we're going to clean up that blood with your sweat. No, jokes. Jokes. You just want to feel good about yourself. Again, it's life advanced fitness. So what you're training for is what we're going to train for. If you're training for a prolonged life, then let's get in here and face what life might throw at us, which could be anything. Let's train functionally. If you want a strength program, then we do that in here. Yeah. I do sports performance, as you hear. I'm an athlete by heart, but I rent space outside and I do my sports performance training outside. But
who are you working with primarily? Boys, girls?
Oh my gosh.
Old, young? What are we talking here?
We're talking about my demographic here is adults, primarily between the ages of 35 and 60.
At this facility right here?
Right inside here. Between 35 and 60 years old is the average demographic. Predominantly about 75 to 80% women. So, ladies, if you're looking for a nice, comfortable spot to come train at, to where you're going to get a great workout, you're not. See, hear my commercial? See how it's going into it?
I was going to edit it.
It's roll. Yeah, I was going to edit it. But, ladies, if you're looking for a great place to come train at, where you're going to get that motivation, the guidance that you need, with the intensity and the kind of feeling of a high-intensity workout, like a CrossFit style, then LAF might be the place that you might want to try it and check out. Small groups. About 3 to 6 people at the most, sometimes 10, depending on what session or what training modality is being on. But
some animal flow going on.
You might get kicked in the face, clawed up a little bit.
How about with the kids then? What's your demographic there?
12 to 21.
Do you set that age at 12?
I set that at the 12. I did have a few people hit me up with interest in why not any younger than that. Listen, I don't have a problem with training any younger than that. It's just the comprehensiveness. Mm-hmm. I try not to mix too much because it takes away from the older ones. Yeah. However, the younger ones can do it, but I like to put them in their own group and maybe cut some of the time down a little bit, make it a little bit more fun. Remember, if you get your kids moving at a young age and get them working on their footwork, their foundational strength, that stuff is going to transition and correlate to what they're doing as they get older. So don't be such a hurry to put them under weights. Get them moving their body. Let them control their bodies, and they'll be a lot better at it.
All right, man. I'm hitting you with some quick hitters right now.
Let's go.
How much time you got? You got to roll?
Yeah, but go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
Want to lose fat? 10 seconds or less. What are you telling me?
Want to lose fat? Get up, move. Find a modality that you love to do and find a way to keep doing it every day. It's not about what you're doing, how long, and how consistent can you keep doing it.
You want to jump higher, track and field.
Jump higher. Jump.
Yeah.
Jump, man. Jump. You want to learn how to jump?
Jump, throwers throw.
Throwers throw, man. And that's what we got to do.
So if I was going to say sprint, you would have said sprint.
Sprint, man.
Chase somebody.
Sprint, chase somebody. How can you be in that realm if you're not practicing what the realm will require? And obviously, you can add resistance to it and different variables to change that. But
generally speaking,
I'm not going to be a good jumper. I can study the books all I want. Okay. Change your trajectory angles to this. Make sure you apply force with speed at this point to produce that. If you're not doing all that diagram doesn't mean jack.
No.
I mean? Combine them both: work ethic, talent, genetics,
Bam.
and skills.
We didn't even get to that yet. Maybe another time, brother.
We got this.
All right, you got to roll?
Yeah,
Thank
gotta
you.
get out of here.
All right, cool,
hey,
man.
come on.
All right, Vince, Life
hey,
Advance Fitness.
Yes, Brick House Strength.
All right, guys.
You know what it
See
is.
ya. Have a good day. All right, cool, man. Thank you.
Yo, I love it, man.